Hey.
Hello everyone, my name is Michael Young and welcome back to Fallout 3.
One of the new immigrants died of radiation poisoning last week.
So we are here in Rivet City. We just talked to the merchant and cleared out his inventory of good things. There are still things I could be stealing, but that probably isn't the right thing to do right now. Kind of what I want to do is just walk around and talk to everybody, do our usual thing. We have several quests for this place. So I don't think we finished up with you, Harkness.
Is there a problem?
Tell me about Pinkerton.
Are those rumors still floating around? Look, I don't have time for swapping ghost stories with you. Pinkerton's a legend. Dead or long gone. Don't care much, as I've got real people to take care of. Go bother someone else.
Alright.
I suppose.
And he'll just tell me where all these things are. Who's in charge around here?
It doesn't work like that. I'm in charge of security. Dr. Lee runs most of everything else. Bannon kinda represents the merchants. He also owns Potomac Attire.
So you're on the council?
Bannon and Dr. Lee and I all meet on Monday mornings to talk about citywide issues. It's pretty informal. The council doesn't have much real power.
Fair enough, fair enough.
She's one of the members of the council. Runs the science lab here. Don't bother her unless it's important. Her lab is in the stern end of the ship.
Why did you all decide to live here?
We're the safest, most secure city in the wasteland. Nothing can get in here without our say-so.
Tell me more about your history. Moira's really interested.
I don't exactly have time to worry about the history around here, now do I? I've got to worry about what's happening on it now.
Alright, this guy's not much help. Let's just recap real quick. So what do we have to do here? We have talked to Dr. Lee about Dad, and that's the main quest line, so we should do that soon enough. This is not one of those things. That was from another quest area. Replicated Man is talking to Pinkerton about this android, or learning more about the android for Zimmer. Some random woman approached me and wanted me to lie to this Zimmer dude. And of course, Moira wants us to learn about the history of Rivet City, so that we can teach others about how cities form, I guess? Something, maybe? And of course, Brian Wilkes wants a home, and this could be a potential home for him. So we have several things to do here. Feels like it's been a while. Like it's been a few days, but it's not been that long. Let's just look around, gets things. This is some reason not stealing. I'll take it. I don't think anything's off that way. Hello, who are you?
Wanna do some buff out? Who are you? Got any psycho? I could really use a fix, but I'm broke.
Weren't you just offering?
I run the chem shop, but I'm broke and can't buy chems.
Dude, you shouldn't take that stuff, it'll kill you.
That's what Cindy says too, but I got the itch. I need it bad.
Why are you guys on the boat?
It's a place to live, safe from raiders and super mutants. With Dr. Lee on our side, maybe we can even begin to rebuild the world. Huh? History? What history? No history here, girl.
That was very odd difference in tone between the two of those things.
Yeah, me too.
So he doesn't want to sell me drugs?
I'm coming down and I gotta...
Okay. Here, have some psycho.
Thanks, man. I really need this fix.
Man? Apparently that's losing karma, too.
Man, that is some good shit. I am really jazzed now.
Okay.
Make it quick, will you? I'm coming down and
Why don't you just take them from your shop, or why don't you sell them to me?
my wife, Cindy, she's always watching the inventory. If I take any, she'll lock me out.
Fair enough.
Yeah, me too.
Is this a little baseball diamond, I guess? It's cool. With another one of these ubiquitous motorcycles nearby. I don't know why they would fold the wings up like that. Like, is that a thing? Do ships actually, do airplanes actually have foldable wings on jets like this? I can't imagine it would be a good reason, for like structural stability and all that. Nah, listen to it groaning. What was that sound? It sounded like... Hello? What? Oh dear. He died. I didn't kill him.
What's the big idea?
I have nothing to do with that.
I'm on duty. Make it quick. Don't you believe the rumors? His ghost is certainly not haunting the bow of this ship. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have work to do.
I'd like to report someone. Interesting.
Oh, really? If someone took your stuff, go get it back. If they shoot at you, shoot back. Otherwise, I've got to see it for myself before I'm going to do anything.
Oh, okay. Tell me about the council.
Chief Harkness meets with Dr. Lee and Bannon to discuss security matters. It's a waste of a good Monday morning, if you ask me. They should just let Chief Harkness call the shots.
Well, I'm sure that's not at all partisan. Tell me about Lee.
She's some sort of genius. You know, one of those egghead scientist types. Her lab is in the stern end of the ship.
Alright. You're not important. You don't have a real
see
name.
ya.
Let's see if there's anyone who does have a good name. Excuse me. So it's weird. Some things in here are stealing, some of them are not. Hello? Nah, they're watching too closely. I can't steal things. Well, there we go. Just gotta be careful, you know? Make sure we're hidden before clicking. So many electron charge packs and a stealth boy. Nice. That sounded like a robot. Like a Gutsy or something. Why am I detected? Okay, more to Rivet City. But yeah, it seems odd to me that some things are stealing and some of them are not. I'm not quite sure to interpret.
Tamper with that, and we're going to have a problem.
I'm not here, man. You cannot see me. Nah, he sees me pretty good. Yep, knew it was Gutsy.
Sir, yes, sir. Private Jones reporting.
I'm not gonna lie. Tell me your story.
Sir, this slag heap is guarding the armory, sir.
Okay. It says this would not be illegal to do that. I mean, this is the armory, presumably? Yeah.
Cindy's got all kinds of good kids. I'll try that.
Hmm.
Don't
Hello?
mind me. I'm just taking up space here.
You look terrible, man.
Haven't run into you before. You probably wouldn't remember me anyway. I'm Mr. Lopez.
Why would I not remember you?
Nobody does. I'm not very memorable. Don't worry. It won't be a problem for much longer.
In fairness, I don't remember him, so he's got me there. Okay. We're really high. Are we like up on a thing? Let's look. Oh, it says there's a hostel right there. Really? Did I screw up? Is the robot mad at me now?
Hey,
No. But in there's a hostel. A turret, perhaps. Let's look out here first. Alright.
did you hear about the fight in the Muddy Runner last night?
Yeah, Belle's gonna have to replace some tables and chairs.
I'm sure she'll just scrounge some from the lower deck. Hello?
Hello?
Everything looks okay here.
I have to admit, I'm getting all excited about Fallout 76. It's making me want to get this playthrough done quickly. But I suppose we still have quite a bit of time. Let's look in here. See if this makes everyone go hostile. Tomes. Okay. Random good luck. 2 more reports of mirelurk noise from the bow section. There isn't a damn thing that can be done about it. As soon as we clean out one nest, another moves in. I just wish everyone would stop bitching about it. The railing on the flight deck is still broken. The problem has been referred to the council. Brock got in a fight with that sister character. If it happens again, I'm going to have to kick sister off the ship. Caught James Hargraves stealing food at Gary's galley. Cammy paid the fine, although she blistered my ears the whole time. And that's it. Well, I'm a little uncertain. Do we want to try to do something?
Sir, yes, sir.
There's a security emergency on the flight deck.
Sir, that's a really stupid idea, sir.
Oh.
Sir, you are not authorized to enter the armory. Sir, please don't make me shoot you, sir.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll get to it eventually. Sexy sleeper here. Doesn't seem like it's something accessible at the moment. Unless you want to like kill robots and things. But that's so mean. You don't want to kill robots. Hello?
Hey there.
This is where we came in. We haven't been down yet, though. There are a lot of security officers around here. Like, a ridiculous number of them.
Hello.
More than half the population are security for the other half. Hello? May?
Stay away from me. What do you want? Are you one of them?
One of whom?
I suppose it doesn't matter if I tell you. I used to be a slave. I saw a slaver on this ship. His name is Sister. I'm afraid he's after me.
I see. My immediate reaction was, oh, I get it. So maybe I should go with that option.
No! Please don't tell Sister. I think he's a slaver. I don't want to be taken by him.
I didn't mean to threaten. Here, go buy yourself a gun so you feel safer.
Thank you. I'll go to Flak and Shrapnel's just before closing. I don't have anything to give you, but I think I can trust you with a secret. If you ever go up north, there is a secret slave hideout called Temple of the Union. You might find them useful.
Sure. Where are you going? She's like zooming. Huh. Alright, we're just in the middle of the living quarters. No. We just gotta go around and clear it all. It's fine. A locked filing cabinet. That would not be stealing. Okay. I swear I'm not doing it just... It's... Wow, I'm not doing very good at this. There we go. Just some drugs? That's it? Boring. Staley's door. That would be... Well, nobody's around. Are they inside there? Whoa, what was that? Hello? No? No, no one's here. Means we can just go ahead and loot the place. I could definitely do with a replacement of this minigame. It's just a little tedious. Just make me not able to open it up, I would say. Or opens immediately. Or something. Lots of food here. So much food. Hello?
Yeah, Belle's gonna have to replace some tables and chairs.
Oh, he's got a knife.
Some from the lower deck.
I'm Gary. Gary Staley. If you ever get hungry, stop by Gary's Galley.
I just looted your entire place. And I mostly hunt for my own food.
Ah, a true wasteland warrior. Still, you should stop by my galley in the market and try a Mirelurk cake. I'm sure you'll love it.
Tell me about your history.
I know a lot of places opened up when they got the hydroponics bay working, but that's hardly the start of it all, is it? Actually, Vera Weatherly might know more. She's always here and talking with folks, so if anyone's picked up a story or two, it'd be her.
You see, this guy was actually helpful. He told me, he referred me somewhere else.
In this area?
It is mid-afternoon. I don't know why people are like freaking out trying to go from place to place all the time. Okay, kind of a common room. Broken terminal that I can't do anything with. There's some free XP here and there. Some ammo I don't particularly need. I always find it a little peculiar when you have a footlocker that's stealing, but it's also empty. Like, they're saying if anything was in there, it would have been bad to take it. People really seem to be into this whole railings on the flight deck thing. That's Gary's. I got turned around. Okay, there's two ways. This is Cantelli's. That was the drug guy, right? Go away, man. I'm not here. I'm still detected. So this is the guy that just randomly died when he was walking in the door. There's a bunch of drugs all over the place. Oops. This is the part where I lose all of my all my bobby pins. Interesting, that one was not stealing. Everything else was. Was there something back there? No, it's just ground texture. Everyone's so happy with me, right? Yeah. Alright. This is the science lab. We'll go there eventually.
I do the repairs around here, so if you see something that needs fixing, let me know.
This is one of my family
This
members,
could
must
use
be.
a few more people willing to work. Everything is falling apart. I'm the only one willing to fix it.
But apparently I can't talk to him.
I'm busy. I've got a lot of repairs to make.
Alright.
Good to see you.
And you? It is a real dump. This is like where some guy comes in and eats. Perhaps. Church. Hello?
Yeah. I am Father Clifford. This is St. Monica's church.
Who is Saint Monica?
She is the patron saint of lost children. Very popular among the faithful of Rivet City. I'm surprised you've never heard of her. If you want to hear her story, it will be the topic of my sermon on Sunday. Services begin at 8 a.m. You should come.
Interesting. I think Mr. Lopez is suicidal. I remember that guy. He was the one that said nobody could remember him.
Yes, I know. I've been counseling him for some time now. He used to go stand on the observation balcony all afternoon. He's down to only an hour or so at 3 o'clock.
Interesting.
Yes, my flock is all of Rivet City. You should come to services this Sunday. I'll be telling the tale of St. Monica.
I am not making a donation. Tell me about the history of the Rivet City.
Oh, it's not the past of the city that I dwell upon, but the future of its inhabitants. But if you're interested, I believe Miss Weatherly or Mr. Bannon would be glad to speak with you on the subject.
Alright.
St. Monica bless you.
Do you have any skill mags back here? Donation box? No, just a ruined book. And some medics. The rectory, back that way. But no, we're hidden. Where'd he go? Let's look in the rectory. Really, this guy's putting locked chests behind a locked door? Do you have no trust, man? That's just paranoid. Especially with the indoor chests are actually less locked than the outdoor one. This guy has sexy sleepwear in his room also. It's funny. Oops. I didn't mean to grab that. Let's get rid of that. We'll donate some food to this guy. Nope, nothing really here. We could probably steal the money, but I don't know. Robbing a church? Hello?
Evening.
I talked to you already.
That's secure for a reason.
That's the market. Can you go away, please? There you go. Okay. Close this. Let's snoop around. Some food up there. Oh, there's a key. Seagrave Holmes room key. We just opened that, so what's the point? Okay. Innocence. It's very much like Innocence. There's so few, it's almost easier just to try a bunch. Survival weapon idea. Had an idea for a survival weapon. There are all these railroad spikes laying around the wasteland. I gotta be able to build some sort of a slingshot to fire them like bullets. I tried some really big rubber bands, but that didn't work. Wonder if I could use steam as a power source. Bannon. Dr. Lee, we both know that Bannon does not have the best interests of Rivet City at heart. He is only interested in making a profit. He would sell his own children if he had any, for an extra bottle cap. He needs to be removed. I would be glad to step forward as his replacement. Seagrave, I do not wish to get pulled down into petty political bickering. Bannon has not done anything wrong. If the time ever comes when he does something truly harmful to Rivet City, the other council members will look into it. Until then, I have a lab to run. Yeah, there's not much going on here. What is that? Is someone angry at me for being here? Hello? That's the priest, right?
Saint
Yeah.
Monica bless you.
Okay.
That's why I'm glad I'm here. Good old Rivet City.
Me too. Everything looks okay.
Security, Mei Wong. That was them.
Hey there.
I heard that the city council is debating putting railings on the flight deck.
Nothing. The lab.
That child that fell off the deck last year?
There we go. This is new.
I'm sure they'll do something.
Hey, come back. Hello. Abraham Washington.
Quite an impressive collection, isn't it? Well, don't be shy. Have a look around. Abraham Washington's the name. Curator of this little slice of American history.
It's an interesting collection.
Ah, a fellow scholar, I see. Each of the documents in this room tells a small but important story about the history of the United States of America. Unfortunately, the greatest prize of all is missing from the collection.
Which is missing?
In 1776, the Second Judgmental Congress got together and adopted a document drafted by none other than Thomas Jefferson himself. It was the day the United States of America earned its name and secured its place in history. This magnificent achievement took form in the Declaration of Independence.
Alright, you can just, don't be coy about it, man. Just tell me right out what you want.
Oh, would you? It would mean so much to me and the Society's collection here.
Look at his arm. It's weird looking. I don't know. I'm going to be part of history, and I'll bring you the Declaration.
Excellent! You won't regret it, I promise you. Imagine, you are taking part in another chapter of American history. I envy you. You can find the Declaration of Independence in the ruins of the National Archives.
I don't think I've been there. Tell me how to get there.
In the D.C. ruins, you'll find the National Archives, or what's left of it anyway. The building should contain the document in a protective glass case. Be careful. The place is swarming with super mutants.
Oh, great.
Here, let me pinpoint its location for you.
Map marker added. Tell me the history of Rivet City. I think you would know that kind of thing.
It's funny now that you ask. I can tell you all about the capital, but I really haven't got any idea about Rivet City itself. I can't see
Disappointing.
how important it is compared to the capital's history, but maybe Bannon might know something. He's in the governing council, after all.
Okay, we'll go and do that then.
Careful. The
You just told me they were infested with super mutants, so I guess I'm not gonna pay attention to that very much.
And yes, I can see you eyeing it.
A few things look interesting, but not with him right here. What about out of here? Got stuff? Yeah. So these are all the U.S. declaration of war on China. It's uncertain when the declaration of war on China was made. Some say 2066 when they invaded Alaska. Others say 2067 when the first power armor suits were deployed to counter their forces. It is the last known document of note authored by the United States government before the bombs fell. Had the declaration had the tenacity and might of a stronger president behind it, say Abraham Lincoln, who's to say what the outcome of those tremendous years would have been? Okay, but really, the United States doesn't declare war anymore. We just have, you know, police actions, that kind of thing. So, that's not going to happen. Anything here I want? Hey, there's some random 10mm ammo. I bought a free bottle cap mine. This guy's moving about. Let's go look inside this room now. It's very hard, but we have that, right? We can just switch over to the lab coat. Infiltration! Wow, that's a lot of words. So let's see. Loudspeakers has the A in common. Appreciation has too much in common. Accompanying has the I in common. Okay, let's look for things. See if we can get a reset. We might not be able to, because there's not as many of these little hints. I don't think there are anymore. We might not be able to do this then. Well, it doesn't end in ing and it doesn't end in ion. So not that one, not that one, not that one. Technologies? Or appreciate? No, I think it has to be technologies. There we go. Declaration Expedition. Oh. Okay. Recovery of the Declaration of Independence seems to be a loss. That damn woman I hired, Sydney, she said she could do it. Haven't seen her in months. I bet she's dead or run off with the advance I gave her. That's the last time I trust someone. Told Harkness to keep an eye out for her just in case she ever comes back to the city. That's what I get for sending a woman to do a man's job. Lincoln Artifacts Expedition. Came to find out through the grapevine that there are a bunch of Lincoln's artifacts still in the Museum of History. I think I may branch out from just collecting documents if I could get my hands on those gems. Only problem is I have to find someone braver than me and get to the museum in one piece. And Liberty Bell. Bumped into a traveler a little while ago who showed me what he said was a fragment of the actual Liberty Bell. Poppycock! The Liberty Bell is still intact and laying in the ruins of Philly. I have funded an expedition to that dump in hopes of having the entire bell brought back to my museum. Okay, so we're moving speech up a little, bit by bit. And then big guns. So far. We should probably get some more. We probably need to get everything moving, but I'm happy with this. So, what just dropped? So we're level 19, so we didn't get anything new. What were the level 18 things? Were any of them interesting? Apparently not. And we don't have access to them all. That's really cool. Better criticals would be great. That'd be really good. But I don't think we're close to being able to get it. We don't have anywhere near Luck 6, I don't think. Ninja needs melee weapons plus 80. Only applies to melee weapons then. Maybe? It's not clear to me. Does this mean that sneak attack criticals only apply to the melee and unarmed abilities, or not? I don't know. Anyway, you have to pick something. Light step is always a good one. Yeah, let's get light step. Stop getting ourselves blown up. Okay. Anything else in here interesting? No. Okay. So I'm guessing that he won't send me after the Abraham Lincoln stuff until after we do the Independence. No. Stupid mannequins. Okay, well, new quest. We'll get to that eventually. Should we guard the science lab? I guess, why not? There is still like more things to do, but might as well get this going. Anything we need to steal around here? No side now.
Dr. Lee is trying to save lives, and your constant interruptions are interfering with those efforts. Now please, stand aside.
I'm sure the good doctor's work with water purification is fascinating. But if you only knew what was at stake, the technology in that android...
What's at stake? You won't tell me what's at stake. Vagaries and secrecy. A robot's a robot, Zimmer, no matter how shiny the paint job. Now, please.
Ignorance and facetiousness. That's all you people are good for. Shiny paint job indeed. You can't even imagine the Commonwealth's accomplishments.
You know, if you're so smart, maybe you could help us, But no, that never even crossed your mind. Go peddle your selfishness somewhere else.
Bobblehead! It takes the smartest individuals to realize there's always more to learn.
Fine, but I'm not...
Useless. I think we're already at 100, right? We were already at 10. Yes, now we're still at 10. Boom.
Not until I've spoken to Dr. Lee. I'll be here when she's ready to abandon her chemistry set and talk real science.
Suit yourself.
Probably was worth getting it at 10 instead of 9, just for the
You there. What are you, some kind of lab assistant? No, you look a bit more weathered. Are you by any chance for hire?
Of course. What is the problem?
To the point. I like that. Well, as it turns out, I've misplaced some very sensitive property.
What's the job, man?
Ah, a woman of action. I knew I picked the right person for the job. Let me be clear. You won't be looking for a lost puppy or family heirloom. You'll be searching for an android.
A synth.
Do you know what an android is? No, I imagine you don't. You see, we've moved beyond those primitive buckets you call robots and have created artificial intelligence. Sentient machines. Artificial persons that think and feel what we program them to. Occasionally, their programming miscalculates. They get confused and wander off.
There's a lot going on around here. Any suggestion for finding this android?
Like I said, I suspect he's had facial reconstruction and possibly even a mind wipe. Search the offices of doctors or techies for android information. If he's come into contact with these people, there may be records. Start with Dr. Preston. He lives on this leaky boat. See if he knows anything. He's a doctor, after all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy trying to ignore my surroundings.
I like this guy's attitude. Someone got their hands on a lipoplasticator and a microdermal graft analyzer.
Really? Someone managed to procure those here in the wasteland? Impressive. But who out here could have the skill to use them? You're making progress, certainly. But you've got nothing more to learn from me. Get back out there.
Okay. Well, let's talk to Lee.
Janice, have you overbalanced the chemical mix? Good to
They
see
should be
you.
just fine. Try it again.
What do you need?
I'm looking for my father. Have you seen him?
Look, some of us are trying to get work done here.
Yeah.
Anybody coming through here would have to talk to Dr. Lee. Why don't you go bother her about it? Yeah.
She doesn't seem very pleasant to
Hey.
deal with.
What do you want?
What about you,
I'm
Janice?
Kaplinsky, chief botanist. What do you need? I did see a man talking to Dr. Lee, but I really shouldn't be discussing it.
Oh, you can
She's
tell
already
me.
in a bad mood. I'd hate to make it worse. You should probably just talk to her about it.
Yeah.
Other than him being an egotistical, arrogant, condescending pain in the ass, nothing. He's from the Commonwealth. He's come looking for some special robot. I must admit I'm rather curious, but I have other work to do.
Tell me about the history of the city.
If it hasn't got to do with the science quarters, I'm probably not the one to ask. And Dr. Lee's so busy, you really shouldn't disturb her work.
Fair enough. Except you just told me to go talk to her, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Look, this is a restricted area. I'm tired of telling you people. It's you. My heavens, you look so much like him. You're James's daughter, aren't you? What are you doing here?
How do you know who I am?
You were too young to remember, and I suppose James never spoke of me. Typical. I'm Dr. Madison Lee. I worked with your parents many years ago. Now I run the science lab here in Rivet City. It was all I had left. When your mother died, your father decided to leave with you. He abandoned our work. We had no choice but to do the same.
I'm trying to find him.
You mean you haven't? I assumed he sent you here. For that matter, aren't you supposed to be in a vault? James said he left you there.
It's not about me. I left the vault to look for him.
Did you? I was under the impression that's exactly the opposite of what he wanted for you.
There are people there with
we'll find him
guns.
here. He's come and gone already.
Please tell me where he's gone.
Your father insisted that we return to work on Project Purity. I tried telling him too much time has passed. There's no way it would work. Predictably, he refused to listen to me. He says he can prove it will work and headed off to the old lab. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to tell you.
Where is the old lab?
It's in the old Jefferson Memorial Building, northwest of here.
There we go.
Please, don't go after him. It was foolish of him to even think about going there alone.
Tell me more about my parents.
I suppose so. I worked with them for several years until your mother died, and your father decided it was time to leave. What else do you want to know?
What was he like back then?
James? He was very driven, determined to change the world. Well, we all were back then, I suppose. He was focused on two things, really. Making Project Purity work, and your mother. When she died, I think he gave up. I know he wanted to keep you safe. but I think part of what he did was run away. But it seems that he never really was able to get over the idea. I'm frankly shocked that he waited all this time and wants to try again.
How did Mom die?
Complications from childbirth. None of us were expecting it. We weren't as prepared as we could have been. You have to understand, we were struggling with scavenged, derelict equipment. We did everything we could.
Childbirth is tricky. So I'm gonna say I'm understanding.
Yes. Well, I'm sorry it wasn't enough.
Tell me about her then.
Yes. Your mother was... well, she was a good woman. A very dedicated scientist. Your father loved her very much. It was a shame that she died. She had been excited to meet you.
Okay. Can you help me out in any way?
Look, I don't want to be harsh, but I have problems of my own. I don't have the resources to support James's foolish endeavors, or you're chasing after him. I'm sorry.
Isn't there anything you can do to help? No.
I'm sorry, I am not in a position to help you.
Oh well.
You under...
Is there anything I can do to help you?
This is the Rivet City Science Lab. It's taken many long years to put together, but we've done well for ourselves. Our work on portable fusion power and hydroponics are coming along quite nicely, if not quite according to schedule.
Tell me more about Project Purity.
Project Purity, we called it. What do you want to know? It was simple, really. Fresh, clean water for everyone. Such a simple idea, and yet so impossible to realize. The plan was to build a facility that could purify all the water in the tidal basin at once. No radiation, no muck, just clear water. It just turned out to be more difficult than we anticipated. We had the basic principles down, we understood most of the science behind it, but the radiation in the area is so pervasive. Small-scale tests were fine, but anytime we tried to test the process on a larger scale, it was just... too much.
Too
Maybe
much
if
what?
we had more time. Or better equipment. You happened. It wasn't just you. We had more problems than we could handle already, but your birth is what finally pushed it over the edge. Your father decided that you were more important than everything we'd been working for, and he left. He left all of us. Once he was gone, the Brotherhood decided we weren't worth their time anymore. Without their protection, we had to abandon the purifier.
Oh. Tell me more about you.
What? Well, I'm not sure what there is to tell. Your father and I, we worked together for a long time. I think we were really on to something. But then there were complications. The project was abandoned and your father disappeared. I returned here to Rivet City and established the lab you see before you now.
Tell me about Zimmer.
That man doesn't have you looking for his pet android, does he? I've already told him to lay off it. He's distracting my entire team.
Tell me about Pinkerton?
That idiot? He left so long ago, most folk don't even remember him. He claimed to have found a secret stash of technology somewhere in the ship. Then he just disappeared.
Tell me about the city's history.
I could tell you all about the science lab, but even though I was here near the start, I can't really help with the details of how it all worked out. It all seems like a lifetime ago. I'm afraid I've had a lot of things on my mind since those early days.
Anything more about Rivet City?
Rivet City is one of the few bastions of civilization left in the land. We're working to rebuild our society, to make the world livable again.
Okay, I think that's it.
Good luck.
Alright, I think I'll take a break right there. We've gotten most of the talking to people out of the way. What are you doing right there? You're acting like an engineer rather than a scientist. But whatevs. We will take this up next time. Thank you everyone for watching. Till then.